Country. We know you're sick of winter, most of us, right? But there is that silver lining.
Yeah, in fact, a prolonged cold could mean some great bargains at your favorite stores. Business and weather expert Paul Walsh joins us now via Skype from Bethany Beach, Delaware. Good to see you and happy Easter, Paul. And let's talk about this. How big of an impact does this cold weather have on businesses?
Hugely negative, Paul. You never want to hear the term heavy, wet snow and Easter in the same sentence like you just did. It's one of the biggest sort of spring holidays of the year for retail spending. In fact, the National Retail Federation estimates that this year will be the second largest on record and will spend somewhere around $18 billion. But the one thing that the National Retail Federation, I don't think factored into that projection was the fact that a large part of the country was going to be really, really cold. And we're going to be talking about what you just talked about, heavy, wet snow. That definitely puts a kibosh on the sort of spring feeling, and people stop spending on the kind of things that the retailers certainly would hope we're spending it on.
All right, so aside from us maybe not spending, what does it mean for our wallet? My guess is bad for business, maybe good for the consumer?
Yeah, you're exactly right, Maria. So to the extent that we are not spending money now, we're not buying as many lawnmowers or spring apparel, that means that the retailers are going to have to start to mark down those products to move them out of the stores. So after we move a little bit farther into April, maybe the second half of April, we're going to start to see some pretty good bargains because the businesses, the retail businesses specifically, are going to be forced to drop the price to get the product out, because guess what? It's going to be summer, at least from their perspective here, really, really soon, and they need to get ready for that.
Well, speaking about the retailers, so when should they expect for spending to start ramping back up?
Well, you know, something is going to happen. It happens every time when we go through this kind of weather condition. Spring will come, and when it does, there's going to be a massive outbreak of cabin fever. And I think that cabin fever outbreak, the fever will break by the time we get in, probably not into the second week of April. Certainly by Mother's Day, which is the next big sort of retail holiday. Unfortunately, from everything that I can see, we've got a little bit of time we're going to have to sort of suffer through this here, at least in the eastern half of the country. It's cold and it's snowing. It's not good to be doing that in April.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Mother's Day, a month and a half or so. All right, Paul Walsh, as always, great talking to you. All right, let's